of this book called Unstuck by Kimberly Jones. That's what it looks like right there. That's what the back looks like. And that's Kimberly right there. This one is called, in the book, it's on page 154. We only have 30 days to go in this series, which is amazing to me. See the invisible. See the invisible. Now, this is the verse we're going to focus on. Hebrews 11, that's chapter 11, verse 27. You can Google that. It was by faith that Moses left the land of Egypt. That's where he was raised, actually. Not fearing the king's anger, meaning the Pharaoh. He kept right on going because he kept his eyes on the one who is invisible, meaning God. You know, Moses, when he was a baby, it was decreed that all of the Hebrews, the Israelites, oldest, their firstborn, had to be killed, firstborn boys. And his mother took him and put him in a basket right by the Nile River, and that was leak-proof, made out of reeds, and put him in among the cattails and the reeds in the river to hide him until the soldiers were passed, and many children lost their lives during that time. And the queen of Egypt happened to be down at the river with her maid, bathing and whatnot in the river, and she saw something in the reeds, and she had her maid go get the basket. Long story short, she ended up raising Moses as her son, and she hired Moses's mother, unbeknownst to the queen, this was Moses's mother, as her maid to be the nurse, they call it a wet nurse, to feed Moses and take care of him. And so his mother ended up being by his side that time, during that time. But he was, he knew that when he knew, understood that he was part of the Israelites, the Hebrews, it pained him to see how they were being treated. And he didn't exactly listen to God during this time. But at about the age of 40, he was told, because he had actually committed a crime and the Pharaoh was after him. He was told to leave the area, and he ended up going to the desert, and he met his future wife there and was married, and he tended sheep and the animals for like 40 years. He was 80 when he actually was put into his true purpose. God was molding him and making him. Before you go into the legal field as a beginner, the last thing you want to do is expect this. And if you've watched my videos, I will say this. Do not expect when you walk in the door that they are going to put you in a conference room and run videos so they can bring you up to speed and educate you on about the practical side of working every day in that workplace. That doesn't happen. So you have to be in reality, and that molding and making you into a very, very well-rounded paralegal will come on the job, but there's no training, even if the ad says so. Now, you can balk against that and believe that, yes, there is training, but they don't run a school there. No one has the time to do that. What you have to do is educate yourself. And I'm talking to people who have a 2-year degree or a certificate. You don't have the time to waste, and also to think that way, that you're going to be educated by some people the first week to 6 weeks on the job. What you have to focus on is, you notice on my channel recently, I've put up duties in specific areas of law. I've put short videos up regarding that. There are longer videos for some of those too on my channel. Duties of a paralegal in criminal law, in labor and employment law, in consumer bankruptcy law, many other areas. You can go to the playlist called Areas of Law, and watch a lot of those, and you can take notes and have a page in your notebook. You know, I always tell you, go to Dollar Tree and get a cheapy notebook and have a page or two for each area of law, and look at those duties. That will educate you like nothing else. And when you don't understand one of those duties, you're like, what does that mean? This is how you become the most excellent paralegal. Now you're going to drill down and you're going to search on Google. You're going to put that duty in there. Let me look up one. Like in criminal law, for instance, if you were looking at those duties, one of them is assisting the attorney in the courtroom. You could put in Google, how does a paralegal assist an attorney in the courtroom? Okay, so dissect each duty. And now we call it in the legal field, drilling down. That's the stuff, that's the practical side of working as a paralegal, each of those duties. And a lot of this is not taught in a 2-year degree program, although you learn a tremendous amount. You're not taught the practical side. And you're not, when you graduate, speaking from experience, I have a certificate that I received in the middle of my career, because I just wanted to see what it was about. What were they really teaching? And understand that so much is learned on the job, but learning some of this will go a long way in helping you land the job, the first job. So that's something I wish I had known. So glad you're here with me live today. There's a plan in the works for you right now. In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I have plans to prosper you, not harm you. If this is the career you're supposed to be in, you do have to put out effort. And you're thinking, well, I did do some things, Leslie. I got the education they say I need, and you got the 2-year degree, or you got a certificate, and you're saying, and some states don't require, like, they don't put that in stone that you have to have either one of those. They give you options, like you can have a high school diploma in most of the states in the US, okay? So they don't exclude people, but California has it in stone, 2-year degree or certificate. So prepare yourself, go the extra mile by doing what I just said about investigating those duties. And write down, you may put down, if you're interested in family law, for instance, and you have your notebook out, and you're dedicating a couple pages to writing down what you're finding, and maybe you want to leave 5 extra pages with that, so that when you dissect each of those duties, then you're writing that down and going, oh, I see. And the puzzle pieces start to come together. And I felt like it wasn't until I was 2 to 3 years into my career where I felt the puzzle pieces were really coming together, and I knew how everything fit. You don't have to wait for that by doing what I'm telling you to do in your own research. Now, you do have to do a knock it out of the park cover letter. Most people, 99.5%, think they're going to focus on the resume. They don't. They focus on your cover letter, and this plays in to your cover letter. Knowing this stuff, you're like, well, what am I going to... Go to my website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com, and the one thing you should do today is join the Paralegal Resource Hub. That's free. Totally free. Don't bypass that. But the other tab to click on, and my website is listed in the description box. The other thing to click on is the Cover Letter Secrets tab. Absolutely, hands down, I will teach you how to... That's a class. Teach you how to write and give you templates, how to write a knock 'em dead cover letter. It's so important because it raises your resume to the top of the pile. there are sometimes 200 to 500 candidates that apply to the job. So God is working in putting you where you need to be during your career and your life for a reason. Moses was molded into the human he should be in order to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. I mean, we're not talking 2,000 people. We're talking millions of people leaving, like the workforce of Egypt leaving and their families. But he wasn't ready to be used until he was 80 years old. And that's when God started using him and said, okay, now it's time. Go see the Pharaoh and convince him to let the Israelites go. When you're feeling like you don't know what you should be doing, that's when you need to step it up and start researching these things and understand there are so many different areas of law, and not only which one fits your personality, but in the beginning, you may just have to take what's available for entry-level people to get your foot in the door. So don't be closed off. Be open to the fact that you're going to learn so much. Be open to that. Don't be stubborn. He's not done with you yet. No, you're not too old to get into this career. You know, I am not a young person, and I'm still being used in this capacity. So what makes you think, I will guarantee you're not my age. So what makes you think you're too old? Of course, you think, well, oh, it's to start a new career. Never, there's a plan and a purpose in the works for you. Totally. So keep telling yourself that, because if you need convincing, then go to, just Google Jeremiah 29:11, but just Google Jeremiah 29 and read 1 through 12 or whatever, and read that whole chapter. God has a plan and a purpose for you. He always has. The thing is, will you walk into it? And are you gonna be open to being molded, but also putting your own effort out too, to show, that you're stepping up to it. You're upping your game. All right. So do not sit back and expect to be spoon fed when you go to your first job. You've got to do these things that I just talked about, and you will do so well. You will do so well. Now, please like and subscribe so other people can be helped by the videos here. That's my goal. With almost 1,000 videos, that's my goal for the channel. Always has been for 7 years, and almost going into 8 years now. So be sure to go to my website, because there's a lot there for beginners that will help you. And get the Legal Break-In book. That's for beginners. I take you behind the scenes on some jobs in there, like a day in the life in that book. It's a short read. I mean, short, it's like 80 to 90 pages. So check that out. That's on the website, and my book is on Amazon, Legal Break-In. Oh, I'll show you a copy right here. This is it right here. And that's the back. And relatively short read. You can mark up those chapters. You learn a whole lot in there. And that's it for today. So have a great day. Questions, comments, post them in the comment area. I really love hearing from you. I totally do. Trying to think if there's anything else. The videos that you would like to see made, I don't teach I have a course on my website. You'll see if you go over there. It's called Accelerator. Actually, it's a membership. And it won't reopen until, I think I'm going to reopen it on Black Friday. So stay tuned for that. But people will ask me, questions about, Well, when you're on the interview, you know, what questions should you ask? Well, I teach that in that membership. So I give a list of questions you should ask. So that's part of the membership, where I have 36 videos. And the cover letter secrets class is in that membership as part of it, but I also offer it separately because people need that in order to raise their resume to the top of the pile. So that is it for today. Have a great one. Let's see, what are we doing? The next video will be called Show Up and Show Out. So that's going to be excellent. And I'll talk to you in the next one. So have a great weekend. Do something for yourself. Do a lot of research, but track it all right here in your Dollar Tree notebook. Have a good one. Take care.